word here. Inking means that your whole it's not just outlining inking. It means that you go over and you redraw your entire drawing and you add to it as you're going, sort of like editing as you go. This is what's great, by the way, about doing a pencil sketch, is that if you know that you're going to go over it with ink, then you have time. That gives you time to think of other things you can add. Like, for instance, I thought of another thing that I could have added to this character instead of a hat. I was thinking this morning about drawing a whole bunch of kings, and of course they would need a crown. So that's another thing I could add. Yesterday we were doing this assignment, and I had students adding all kinds of interesting things to their character. I had some students adding, I had a couple add horns, like maybe they were a demon, a creature of the dark, or maybe just a little devil girl. Like I had one little girl and she was kind of like a devil girl, and then she actually added wings to her character. It looked really good. So while you're inking, it gives you time. And Asia, if you lost your paper, you could just make another one really quick. It gives you time to think of things. But also, inking is shading, and that's like mostly what I'm doing right now. Is I'm using those. Remember how we talked about hatching lines, when you use lines to shade and you leave space in between them, and it's what makes your drawing look like it has shadows and shades when you draw with ink. That's also part of inking as well. So you can see what I'm doing here. I'm just kind of jumping right into this. And, all right, so is everybody good with 10 minutes? Because I will go ahead and I will set the timer. Hey, Siri, set a timer for 10 minutes.
Okay, your timer is set for 10 minutes.
And then when the timer goes off, you're going to want to have some kind of marker. I'm going to be using these guys. And then you're probably going to want, if you want to do a little bit of brush work, you're going to want a like a brush that comes in a set of watercolors with some water. But I'll give you time to get those things. Right now, just focus on inking. And let me see if there's any other text messages. Oh, Anasia must have went off to go get another piece of paper. All right. And if you have any questions, I'm just going to be drawing, so I might not be looking at the screen. So if you can tell, you can see in my webcam that I'm looking down at my drawing. Let me fix my webcam. There, now you can see me. Or you can also see in my document camera that I'm working. You can just unmute and ask your question if it's a really, really important one. And by the way, if your question is, can I go to the bathroom? You don't have to unmute yourself and say that. You can just go. Sound good? All right. Get into the inking. Let the ink take your imagination to Funtown. That's what I say. And I don't mean the actual place. I mean Funtown in your mind. I just realized that that was a real place. Whoops. Getting a little darker. Yes.
Is it okay if I just free draw? Because I inked last time because I finished early.
Yeah. When the timer goes off, we're going to do color, okay? So be ready. Okay, Mr. Hitchcock. Whoa, your voice, it sounds weird all of a sudden. I'm also...
I'm as a zombie ghost.
A zombie ghost? I only have about each one of the classes that I've done this lesson with, I've only had maybe about half of the students actually zombify. Most of them are not zombifying, or over half are not zombifying. They're just keeping it cool, drawing their characters.
I zombified mine.
You zombified yours? You're a good egg. You're a good egg. The other thing... The other thing when you're inking that you also want to do is you want to make some of your lines thicker. So like right here I'm working on the brim of his hat, and I'm making the bottom edge of that brim into a very thick black line. And that creates contrast and boldness in your lines. And I'm also just shading the background, by the way, with hatching lines. But try to make some of your lines thick, and you should have a few areas on your drawing of just like areas that are colored in black. Like for instance, this area on his nose is going to be straight black colored in because, you know, he's missing his you know, the rubber part of your nose, you know, this part right here. He's missing that. His best zombie buddy bit his nose off. Oh, Grizzly.
Mr. Hitchcock?
No. Yes. Just kidding.
Last time I actually finished inking early because I drew myself as Among Us character and I actually managed to finish coloring it.
Hey guys, you can always do another drawing, you know.
Yeah, but I need the steps.
You don't need the steps. You already did the steps. Try them. You know, this is like that pivotal moment in your life where you went outside and your dad took the training wheels off of your bicycle and you got on that bicycle and you tried to drive it around your neighborhood without the training wheels. So you've already seen the lesson. Now let's see what you can do on your own. Yes, I think you'll do just fine. Something just beeped at me and I have no idea what it was. Did you guys hear that? It sounded like an old Toyota from the 1970s. Beep. So I'm just using hatching lines here in the background. I'm imagining that in the background on the wall, maybe he's casting a shadow. Maybe there's
It's a Mexico ghost zombie.
That is a ghost. That is a good. Is that a lady ghost zombie too?
No.
Well, because the long hair, you know. Whoa. Did you see that? Pencil just jumped right out of the pen just jumped right out of my arms. It jumped right out of my nose. What? I don't know what I'm saying. I also like to go over my rectangular border, and I like to make that line that delineates the border into...
How are we gonna make that?
Huh?
How are we gonna make that?
A rectangle?
No, the shades.
The what's?
The shades.
Just lines like this. Look. I'm
Oh
shading.
my god.
You see that? I'm shading. Can you do this? Can you do this? Can you do this? No? Then there's something wrong. You need to go to the doctor because your hands and your brain don't work. Come on, you can do this now. We're big kids. We're not babies.
Just don't listen to my mom's computer. It's freaky. It just says my name in a different word.
Okay. Nice. By the way, I was inking my drawing last time, but look, I'm still adding to it. I'm not in a rush. I'm not rushing. I'll show you guys the king that I drew. I drew a king this morning. Oh, boy. I'm tired of this hybrid stuff here. That's me? You drew me. My hair's not like that. I don't have like scarecrow hair. What was I just going to do? Oh, I was going to show you the drawing I made this morning. That's what I was going to do. First I got to edit it because it's all crooked and weird. I'm going to make a series of king drawings of different kinds of kings, and they're going to be called the good guys. I don't know why. That's just what popped into my head. Okay. This is a really early morning. We're talking 5:20 a.m. in the morning here, folks. Actually, see that? Look at that. See the time up there at the top where it says home today, 5:51 a.m.? That's when I took the picture. So I was drawing this That's how dedicated I am to drawing. I'm drawing it. It's 20 minutes after 5 in the morning, and I'm drawing this guy. And he's one of the good guys. That's what I call him. I don't know why. It just popped into my head. I had weird ideas this morning, but I liked it. I was like, I like these ideas. I'm going to draw them. I'm shading. Again, Isabella, are you watching? I'm shading. I'm using a different pen this time, too. These are like the folds. You know how like when you wear a t-shirt and it kind of folds around you? That's what these little shadow shade areas are. And so practice with the shading. Try it. Give it a shot. It's fun. It's good for you. Puts hair on your chest, as we might say. Man, that's what my mom and my dad used to say when I wouldn't drink my milk at dinner time. They say, "Come on, drink your milk. Puts hair on your chest. Don't you want to look like your father?" And I looked at him and I said, "No." Just kidding. That never happened. Although I did get told that if I drank milk, it would put hair on my chest. But it didn't make me want to drink my milk. Nope. I know, we talk about strange things here in the old art room. Okay. What's the time left here? 30 seconds. See what you can do with 30 seconds. You can...
I just finished my picture.
What? Was that words?
I just started inking because I just finished my picture.
Oh, okay, good. Now, yeah, and if you need to keep inking when I start the color demo, just you can continue inking after the demo is over. I'm not going to take that long. I just want to show you guys how you can use markers and use them to almost more paint with them. Of course, I'm going to cheat a little bit, but that's okay. Oh! Pen. Your pen's down. Pens down. Put the cap on first, though. Okay. Now, I'm going to tell you that I'm going to cheat a little bit, but I'm not going to cheat at the same time. So I've got these markers here. And you can see I've got some different things in here. I've got a Sharpie. I've got a Pencil-A. This is a pencil. You remember our friend, the silver pencil from last time. This is something really neat. I don't know if I've ever shown you these before, but these are really neat. You can buy these on Amazon. I highly recommend if you really like... Can you not do that, please? Thank you. Don't do that again, please. You were doing that last time and I asked you to stop. Anyways, continuing on, this is called a water brush. So what it is it is a paintbrush, but the handle is like a water bottle. Do you see the water jiggling around in there? Do you see it? So you can get these on Amazon, and I think the 2-pack is like $6. You get like 2 bad boys like this. And then they have a 4-pack that's like $20. So I highly recommend. These are way easier because if you want a watercolor, you don't have to carry around like a little cup like this and keep putting water in it and stuff, because your water is already in your brush, and all you do when you're painting is you squeeze. So if you need to get a brush, oh look, there's my other pen. And this is a cool pen. I think I've told you guys about this pen before. And you need to get a cup of water. And you need to get your markers. Go do that now. I'm going to pick my colors out. So you are grabbing markers. You can get a little dish with some water if you'd like. And, oh yeah, you know I'm going to use this color. And, oh yeah, you know I'm going to use this color. And, oh yeah, you know I'm going to use that color. Sorry, I'm talking to myself. All right. I just ate a big taco salad, so I'm full of spiciness. Look at what I forgot was in there. That's my eraser. Okay, let's see. I need a cool colors now. So I've got warm colors. I've got a yellow. It's kind of more of a yellow-green. I've got a pink. I've got an orange. Now I need, let's do a blue. And let's do another blue. And I'm just picking out my colors. We'll do that blue. We'll do 3 different kinds of blue. I don't even know if I'm going to use that many. And I got my brush here. And oh man, this one's doesn't have any water. Let's use, where is he? There he is. This is my tried and true water brush. This is the first water brush I ever bought. I'm gonna use it. And I'm gonna grab me some of these thingy things. You know these. Burp, 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 burp. You know that. And you know this one. Burp, 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 burp. So let me tell you what the difference is here. So this is just a regular old Crayola marker. But these are water-based, so they will respond to brush and wash. And when I say brush and wash, I mean brush with water and wash. And that's what I'm going to do. It's called wash techniques with layering. So I think, you know what? I'll start with this guy right here. And by the way, if you used a pen that doesn't have waterproof ink, the ink is going to mix a little bit with your marker. And you can see that that's, let me zoom in so you can get in on the action here. You can see that's already starting to happen on my drawing because the pen that I used last week with you guys was not a Uniball Vision pen. It was this guy, and I did not fill this pen with waterproof ink. But that's okay, because we like to have shadows in our drawing, and we like to have shades in our drawing. So when you when you color with your marker and you're going over areas and the ink is mixing with your marker, you're automatically creating shades. So right now, I've already got a color mixing technique going on just between this pink marker here, or sandy tan is what it says. Sounds like somebody who needs to be on Baywatch or something. Sandy tan. Sounds like a lifeguard name. Doesn't that sound like a lifeguard name to you? Yes, I think it does. All right. Now, what I'm going to do next is going to blow your mind. Just kidding. That's like the Facebook meme, right? What happens next will blow your mind. I'm going to take this brush, and there is water in the handle here. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to get a little water going. I'm squeezing. You'll have to dip your brush if you don't have a water brush. You can just dip your brush in the water. And now the magic is going to happen. Oh, yeah. I'm going to get my colors mixing and blending together. And it looks awful right now, but guess what? Guess what? I'm going to keep working on it until it's great. Keep working on it until it's great. I need to finish drawing this border line here. I didn't finish that. It must be because somebody asked me a question. I bet that's why. All right. I'm going to let this area dry. I will come back over it later with a different color. But right now, I think I need to paint this hat with an orange. So this is one of my watercolor markers. And you can see that it's doing the same thing that my Crayola marker did. It's mixing with the ink. And you'll just wait till you see what it does when I start to watercolor over it. By the way, these watercolor markers, they're starting to pop up in more and more places. It used to be you had to order them online. But or you had to go to a specialty store. Like, has anybody ever been to Michael's? Just show me a thumbs up if you've ever been to Michael's. It's one of my favorite stores. It's great. They sell, you know what they sell in there? They sell grandma gear and art supplies. You know, like grandma gear, like, you know, knitting, sewing. I call that stuff grandma gear. And I don't mean that in a bad way, because I sew too. Sometimes I have to sew my clothes up.
I want to learn to sew.
You want to learn to sew? There's a lot of good sewing videos on the YouTubes.
So I can fix my dog's toys and my clothes.
Yes, yes, yes.
I'm a grandma too because I crochet.
You crochet too? That's just a joke. You're not really a grandma. It's like I call myself a nerd dad all the time. It's just a joke. I don't mean anything by it. Well, it kind of hurts my feelings, man. Okay, I won't say it anymore. All right. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for looking out for me. All right, I think this guy's shirt is gonna go green, and I think I'm gonna, when this area dries, I think I'm gonna drop some green down into the cracks and crevices of his face. I kind of wish I would have drawn this picture a little bit bigger in my big sketchbook, because then I'd have a lot more room to get crazy with my colors and really start getting some detail going. But this drawing's pretty good. I'm liking it. It's working out. I'm having a good time here.
Can you like outline it and make it like put it on a big picture, outline it, print it out, and make it to like worksheets?
This one?
Yeah.
Could I turn this into a coloring sheet? I could, except now I started to color on it. Usually what I do to make a coloring sheet is I take a picture when it's just a black and white drawing, because that makes the best coloring sheets. If I've already colored it in, then what happens is the areas where I colored turned all these different gray tones, and it's not really good for coloring. It's not really good.
I mean, like, make like something similar to that.
I could. Like, I could make this guy into a coloring sheet. By the way, he really likes root beer. And I could make this guy. Oh, by the way, I forgot something really important. Stop what you're doing. Freeze. Time. I forgot something really important, guys. I'm really sorry. But if you are getting your paper wet and it's in your sketchbook, you're going to want to put a piece of paper underneath so it doesn't bleed through the paper. Whew. I'm really sorry. Yes.
I have an idea.
Okay.
Why don't you draw a devil?
A
devil couple.
A devil couple? I'll put that in my brain for ponderance. That means I'll think about it. I'm not huge fans of devils, to be honest. My favorite things are zombies, drawing the Buddha or Buddha, like Buddha statues and things like that. I like that. I like drawing pyramids, as you probably are well aware of. I like maps a lot. I like my favorite thing.
You draw a zombie couple then, huh?
I could do that. I have done that. All right, I'm gonna do one half this blue, and I'm gonna do the other half. Let's do this blue. What is this one here? They don't.
Can you draw an ancient Egypt zombie couple?
That's another thing I really like. Ancient Egyptian stuff. You could, yeah. They're mummies. Hey, is that your mummy over there? Uh-huh. Why is she hugging that other mummy? 'Cause they're mummy buddies. I don't know. I'm just riffing here. Be careful you don't make your paper too wet, especially if you're using notebook paper in your paper sketchbook, because that paper is very thin, so go light with your water if you're blending with water and brush. Of course, you can just straight color this with markers too. That's another thing you could do.
Yeah, I'm coloring with markers.
So I'm taking my colors here, like, see what I'm doing? I'm using this blue marker now to add some shadowy areas to the hat. So this hat is orange, and blue and orange are complementary colors. And when you color one complementary color on top of another, like a blue and orange, you actually can create really good shadow colors. It's actually better than even using black. Complementary colors. Oh, wrong end there. Yeah, these brush pens I got at Michael's. That's why I was bringing Michael's up earlier. And I got all of these colors. I think there's like 20 colors, 24 maybe, and it was $30, I think, 25 or $30. And usually you can get a coupon for Michael's in the newspaper. If you ever get those newspapers in your driveway, that you don't, they're free and they say hometown news. Usually people just throw those right into the trash can. They don't even read those newspapers. But guess what? There's Michael's coupons inside those newspapers. So you can get a Michael's coupon that says 40% off any one regular item. So if you go to the store and you want a $30 set of markers, they're probably only going to cost you $16 instead of $30. I think that's a good deal. They might be $17. I don't know. All right, so I've pretty much gone over my whole drawing here with my... This, by the way, this brush is not dripping wet. It's just slightly damp. Every once in a while, I'll squeeze a drop or two onto the paper from my brush, and I'll mix that in. And where is my blue Crayola marker? Ooh, you know what? Yes.
Do you live near the school?
Do I need the school? Yes, I need the school. It's my job. What are you talking about?
Do you live near the school?
Yes, I live about 15 minutes away from the school. Why? Are you trying to find out where my house is?
No.
Oh.
What I was gonna say, cause some teachers like they go to, cause they teach at a school, but they live like in a different.
Yeah, like Miss Luznar, she lives far away. She lives in Rockledge. I know where she lives.
She told us.
Yeah.
Mr. Hitchcock.
Yeah.
I don't live that far away from school. I don't live that many miles away. I live around US 1.
Oh.
I literally live 5 minutes away. I live 5 minutes away.
I figured out how far away my house is. You guys will think this story is funny. You got to listen to this. So I figured out my house is a little bit more than 6 miles away from school. And what I've always wanted to do is on Fridays after school, I wanted to walk home because I like taking long walks. And actually, usually if I take a walk, it's either 3 miles or a 5-mile walk. And what I've always wanted to do is just at the end of the day, when school's over on a Friday, I wanted to just walk home. And because I like doing that. I like walking. And Mrs. Hitchcock won't let me do it. She won't let me do it. I said, you go home, take the kids, you drive home. I'll walk. I'll be there in about an hour and a half maybe. Takes about an hour and a half to walk 5 miles. If I walk really fast, it takes about an hour and 20 minutes. So it'll be like an hour and a half. But she won't let me do it. It's not fair. It's not fair. I don't like it. I don't like it. All right, now, once you get your painting pretty much filled in like this, it's probably going to be a little wet if you're using the brush and wash technique, which is what I've been doing. See, it's called brush and wash because you see what I'm doing? It's like I'm washing the paper. I'm scrubbing it because I'm getting that watercolor to do things. Ooh, I ran out of water in my water brush. Guess I got to fill it back up. Let me get this other one that's full. This one. I call this Little Mister because you see how little it is. I don't really call it that. I don't really call it that. I just made that up. I'm telling you guys stories. I'm making up the stuff. So, anyways, there we go. You're gonna want to let it sit for a few minutes before you start going in with layers. But basically, right now, this guy, I'm pretty happy with where things are going. We're getting along well. He's sharing his Doritos with me. I'm sharing my Diet Coke. And, we haven't had any major fights yet. We're getting along here. So I'm going to let him dry a little bit once I'm done working on the shirt here. And then I'm going to take my markers and I'm going to go back through. Whoa! Okay, now, buddy, you made me mad. Do you see what just happened right there? You made me mad now, buddy. Do you see that? Do you see that right there? Look at that. He dripped green paint all over the place. What are you doing? Let me show you how to fix that. If that ever happens to you, look, it happens to me. That means it can happen to you. Here's what you do. Get yourself a paper towel. You know, the wonderful paper towels that we have here at Croton will do, I suppose. And watch what I do. I'm not going to wash it. I'm not going to rub it. I'm just going to sponge it. Do you know what I mean by sponge it? I'm letting the paper towel soak the water up from my paper. And yeah, there'll be a green spot there, but that's okay. It's a sketchbook. It's not a finished piece. And if it was a finished piece, there would be ways for me to fix it anyhow. All right, I guess that's his way of saying, "Okay, buddy, you can let me dry now." Once the no.
Have you heard of the game Among Us?
No, I haven't. I'm kidding. Of course I have. I have 5 kids. What are you talking about?
Among Us? So, I love Among Us. I drew one of the characters of it, and it's actually my character. Ready? You have Among Us?
Sure. I don't think I have that one. No. You see all my games? You see all my games on my phone? There's all my games on my phone.
I have Among Us. I have Among Us.
I don't have that one. But
Why do you have 141 missed calls?
I don't know. I never call them back.
416 missed emails.
That's all junk. It's all junk email. It's all junk. But anyways, only reason why I have these games, the only reason why I have these games is for my son to play. I don't play them. Although I was playing Talking Tom while I was eating my taco salad. Nice Fluffy.
That's just my name on Among Us. That's my little pet.
Your name is Fluffy?
Yes, that's my Among Us character name.
Oh, sorry, I don't know about these video games.
As an imposter, because if your name is Red, you're the imposter.
Oh, I don't know about these video games and you kids. I don't play video games. Every time somebody says Among Us, I think they're calling me humongous. Get it? That's a Nerd Dad joke.
Right later, I will email you on Gmail, and our classmates will play together. That's a great idea.
You're gonna Gmail me? Is that what you said? You're gonna.
My character's Red. I'm gonna email Riley.
Oh. You're passing notes in class? That's not okay. That's not okay. Go ahead, Isabella.
My character's named Devil because it's red, and I've been imposter for 516 times.
Sounds like you've got way too much time on your hands that you ought to be spending either reading books or drawing pictures.
Kidding, I don't have a
You know where I believe video games have a place in this world. Do you want to know what place I think they belong?
Where?
Right in the trash can.
The only thing that does not belong in the trash can is Lakey and TikTok.
Take
That's
that.
why you just make videos on there, Sophie. I saw you make videos. That's all you do, make videos.
I think all the parents should get together and make video games illegal. No?
We're
Okay.
gonna throw you in a closet if you do that. My mom and dad play video games, so. Cool.
Actually, last night I'll be honest. I was playing a video game last night, but I will tell you the reason why is because my 5-year-old son was playing Lego Star Wars 3, and it was his bedtime, but he didn't want to go to bed without finishing the level. But he couldn't finish the level by himself because it was one of those hard levels. So he goes, "Dad, can you help me finish the level?" And I looked at him and I said, "You know I hate video games. Please don't make me play them." And then he looked at me like this. "Dad, can you help me finish the level?" And then I said, "Okay." So that's the only time I play video games.
That's why I do my dad when I want him to do something for me.
All right, once your paper dries out a little bit, you're going to want to go back through with your pen. Hey guys, hold on a second. Let me give some directions really quick. Once your paper dries out a little bit, it doesn't have to be bone dry, but just, so that the water isn't shiny on the surface, you can get your pen and you can go back through and you can touch up some of your ink work, because the ink will spread out, especially, like I said, if it's not waterproof. But the other thing that you can start to do is you can start to take your markers and start going over your areas that have partially dried out and add more color, add more detail, add some shadows, and that's what I'm doing right here. So I'm using just my regular old Crayola here, and I'm going through the areas where I've already painted, and I'm adding more.
Mr. H, can I have the code for Art Sony?
DCSSKZYD. DCSSKZYD.
Mr. Hitchcock, it's 4:56. We're late. We gotta go.
Oh, okay. What time does class end at? 55?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, guys. Well, I will see you guys next time. Try to finish your characters and upload them if you can. Bye, guys. I gotta go. I gotta go to my next class. You got it? Oh, you muted yourself. Well, I'll talk to you about it next week.
DCSS.
DCSSKZYD.